AITA for refusing to allow my SIL's boyfriend into my home, even if it means she sees her nephew less often? Several years ago, my SIL Dora, 44, introduced my husband, 41, and me, 35, to her then new boyfriend, Swiper, 50. He claimed he was making millions as a day trader, yet also claimed his accounts were frozen due to unpaid taxes, that he couldn't buy a car or rent a flat, and that he was living with his father. Despite all that, he offered to trade money on my husband's behalf and promised huge returns. I immediately said no. Dora strongly vouched for him, insisting everything was legitimate and that she had personally seen the numbers. Even after I refused, both of them kept pushing. At one point I left for the restroom and came back to find them essentially cornering my husband. My husband eventually agreed, because he was convinced it was a scam and knew he could file a chargeback if things went wrong. He also thought proving it was a scam would be more effective than attacking his sister's new boyfriend and pushing her closer to him. Predictably, the money disappeared. Swiper begged my husband not to file a chargeback and promised repayment. He never paid him back, and eventually my MIL reimbursed my husband herself. We later learned Dora had also lost money to Swiper, making it even harder to understand why she continued defending him. After that, my husband didn't speak to Dora for months. Their relationship only started recovering after I became pregnant because he wanted our son to know his aunt. The next issue came when I gave birth. I was SA'd in the past, and hospital staff knew I was extremely uncomfortable around men in vulnerable situations. We had specifically discussed limiting who could enter the room. Whilst I was in labor, on an epidural and completely exposed, Dora walked into the delivery room with Swiper. Neither my husband nor I ever found out who authorized this. He was not someone I trusted or felt safe around, and certainly not someone I wanted present during such an intimate moment. I was in no condition to advocate for myself and remember feeling trapped and violated, and remained very stressed even after my husband got them to leave. The birth was traumatic, and I later developed PPD and birth-related trauma that I'm still receiving treatment for. To this day, seeing Swiper can trigger anxiety and flashbacks. Recently, after discussing it with my therapist and husband, I decided I'm no longer comfortable having Swiper in my home. We explained to Dora that she was always welcome, but he was not. She initially agreed. A few weeks ago, my grandmother ed unexpectedly. During the mourning period, Dora asked to see our son. My husband agreed but reminded her that she was welcome, but Swiper was not. She became angry and threw a fit. To be clear, we are not preventing her from seeing her nephew. She is welcome to visit whenever she wants. The only boundary is that her boyfriend cannot come into our home. My husband supports this completely, but some family members think we're being too harsh. AITA. Edit to clarify some recurring questions. 1. My husband didn't pay Swiper directly. He paid a deposit to a proprietary trading firm. You can Google the business model, many people considering it scam adjacent, using an Amex credit card. Because of his professional background, he knew a chargeback would be relatively straightforward if things went wrong. I omitted this due to the character limit, but he ultimately didn't file one because both my SIL and MIL begged him not to, and MIL eventually decided she'd reimburse him herself. 2. In my third world country, delivery rooms have 2 entrances, one for medical staff and one for visitors.